This is an experiment to interface two DC motors with the Arduino Uno using L298N driver. So this is the connection diagram. For this experiment, we need two DC motors. Here I am using 12 volts DC motor and one driver circuit, that is L298N. It is also called as H bridge. This I am using, and one 12 volts battery I am using, and one Arduino Uno board. So how to make the connection? For the H bridge, we have four out terminals, out 1, out 2, out 3 and out 4. Between out 1 and out 2, the motor 1 is connected, and between out 3 and out 4, the second motor is connected, and the battery is connected in this way. The positive terminal of the battery is connected to 12 volts pin of L298N, and negative terminal of the battery is connected to ground. And there is one more pin, 5 volts pin in L298N, and you don't connect this because we are using 12 volts battery. So connect this to 12 volts and a ground, and 5 volts pin will be kept open like that only. Then enable pin of L298N is connected to 9th pin of pin number 9 of Arduino Uno. In one pin of L298N is connected to pin number 7 of Arduino Uno, and IN2 is connected to pin 8 of Arduino Uno, and IN3 is connected to 11 pin of Arduino Uno. IN4 is connected to pin number 12 of Arduino Uno, and enable B pin is connected to pin number 10 of Arduino Uno. Pin number 9 and pin number 10, they are some marking is done here, tilt symbol. These two represents the PWM pins. So this is used for pulse width modulation purpose. So that's why I have shown a tilt symbol on pin number 9 and pin number 10. And the very important thing you should remember in this experiment is you should make a common ground. Don't forget the ground pin of Arduino Uno is connected to ground pin of battery, that is negative terminal of the battery, and ground pin of L298N. All three should be connected to each other. If you don't connect ground pin of Arduino Uno, and there will be a wrong reference voltage, and the noise will be gets added and the motor may not work. So you should connect the ground pin of Arduino Uno to the ground pin of L298N and the negative terminal of the battery together. So on breadboard also you can do this. So this is all about the connection diagram of interfacing of two DC motors with Arduino Uno. Now I'll explain the code. This is my code. Okay, so in code, this code is an Arduino sketch. We call it as Arduino sketch. So it controls the two DC motors. The entire sketch, it controls the two DC motors. And designed, they are designated as a motor. I have in a circuit diagram, I have marked it as motor 1 and motor 2. So motor 1 and motor 2, you can also make it as motor A and motor B, because we have a enable pins E and A and E and B. You can name it as motor A or motor B, but in diagram I have taken as M1 and M2. Okay. So this is about the connection diagram, and now I'll explain the codes. So these 6 lines, int n a n a equal to 9, in1 equal to 7, up to here, these 6 lines. So they declare integer variables. These are integer variables, in1, in2, in3, in4. So these are integer variables, represents the pin connected to the motor driver. So these are the pins of Arduino Uno, and these are the pins of motor driver. Here it is written input 1 for motor A, input 2 for motor A. So enable for motor B, input 1 for motor B, input 2 for motor B. So here you can write motor A, since I have taken as motor 1, so you can make it as motor 1. Or if you write motor 2, you can write motor 2 also. So this small correction I'll do. So this is all about the 6 lines. Okay. So next statement is this. Next 6 lines. So in white setup, we are making all these pins as a output pins. So in white setup function, the code configures the declared pin. These are the declared pins. The declared pins as output pins. This is very, very necessary to ensure that these pins will be used to send control signal to the motor driver. Remember, these signals will be used to send control signals to the motor driver. Okay, next. There is a function called move forward. This function is defined to make both motors move forward, and it sets the input pins for both the motors accordingly, and it applies PWM signal. This is PWM signal. It applies PWM signal of 255. 255 means full speed to enable the pin using analog write. Enable A is for motor 1. So first send high to in1, low to in2, and 255 to enable A. So this will make the full speed to the motor. In the same fashion, to move the motor B also in forward direction, send high to in3, send low to in4, and 255 to enable A. So in here also, we are sending high, low, and 255. And here also we are sending high, low, 255. This will make both the motors to move forward. Next is reverse. So in reverse, check here 6 lines. So the reverse will, the reverse motor, these two, this function is defined to make both the motors to move in reverse direction. It sets the input pins low, high, and 255, low, high, and 255. So this will make reverse. Earlier case we made high, low. Here we are making low, high, and 255. With the full speed, the motor will move in a reverse direction. So this is about move reverse. Okay. Next, move left. So for move left, you have to send high to in1 and low to in2, and we have to stop the motor B. So when I send low to enable B, the motor B will stop. So in this case, the motor will move in the left direction. So what about right direction? So in right direction, I have to stop motor A. So I'll stop motor A by sending low signal, and I'll make high to in3 and low to in4. So the motor will move in a forward right direction. So next, stop. So in order to stop both the motors, the stop motor function is used. This is used to stop the motor by setting their enable pins to low. Send low to both the enable pins. Both the motors will stop moving. Okay. So after that, for every function, I'm giving some kind of a delay. That is in loop function. The code repeatedly calls the different move functions and pauses in between using a delay function to create a specific movement patterns for both the motors. So this is a code which shows forward movement for 5 seconds, and stopping for 5 seconds, and reversing for 5 seconds, etc. With each action, it is followed by a pause. So this code demonstrates how to control 2 DC motors with Arduino by defining a specific function for each type of a movement: forward, reverse, left, right, and using loop to execute these movements in a sequences with pauses in between. So in while loop, just we should call the function, name of the function. What is the move, to move the motor in forward direction, which function we used? Move forward, and write some delay. So after that, stop the motor for 5 seconds. After that, move the motor in reverse direction for 5 seconds, stop the motor for 5 seconds, and move the motor left for 5 seconds, stop the motor, move the motor for right for 5 seconds, and stop the motor. So in this way, the code defines the functions for various movements, forward, reverse, left, and right. The same function I have written in Arduino, your Arduino IDE software. So after writing this, and you should connect your node Arduino Uno board to the USB port. Now go to tools, select the board. The board is Arduino Uno board. Go here and select the board as Arduino Uno, and again go to tools, select the port. The port selected is COM4. Now you upload the program. So after clicking this, the program is uploaded to your Arduino Uno board. This is an experiment to interface two DC motor, 12 volt DC motor with the Arduino Uno board. And for this, I have used a H bridge. With the help of this, you can connect two DC motors. First DC motor is connected to out 1 and out 2 pins of L298N driver module. And the second DC motor, it is connected to out 3 and out 4 pins of L298N module. And I am using rechargeable battery, plus 12 volts. It is connected to through breadboard I am using, because I need to connect the common ground between Arduino Uno board and battery and H bridge. For that purpose I am using breadboard. The positive of battery is connected to one end and the negative is connected to other end here. And the Arduino Uno board ground is connected to ground pin of breadboard, and battery ground is also connected to ground pin of breadboard, and H bridge ground is also connected to ground. So three grounds. Here this I am not connected just now. If I connect, motor starts running. So later I will connect this. So there are three ground pins here. And the VCC of 12 volts VCC pin of H bridge, it is connected to VCC pin of breadboard, where the VCC 12 volts of battery is also connected. It is also connected. So this is about the connection. And one more connection for to run the first battery. I am using there are 4 pins here, in1, in2, in3 and in4. In1 and in2 are connected to pin number 7 and 8 of Arduino Uno board in order to run the first motor. And in2 and in3 pins of H bridge is connected to pin number 11 and 12 of Arduino Uno board. And ENA, that is enable pin A, is connected to pin number 9 of Arduino board, and enable B pin of H bridge is connected to pin number 10 of Arduino board. This is all about the connection. Now I have connected motor 1 and motor 2 here. Now if I connect ground, it starts rotating. You can check here. I'll connect the ground here. So the first motor is running in clockwise and in anti-clockwise direction. And 2 seconds it will stop, and again it will rotate in another direction. And in the same way, the second motor is also running in clockwise and anti-clockwise. And after that, 2 seconds time delay will be there. Now at a time you can see here, both motors are running. So it depends on the program, how we program it. So it depends on that, the motor runs in forward direction and in reverse direction. Now I have used 2 seconds of time delay. If I reduce the time delay, again we will check the speed and the rotation of the DC motor. And now I have increased the time delay from 2 seconds to 5 seconds. See the rotation of the motor. It rotates after 5 seconds. It stops. Again it starts rotating for 5 seconds. Both will rotate in forward direction. Both will rotate in reverse direction. Both will rotate in reverse direction. So one left and one right, it moves to the motor moves in left direction, and another in the next loop it moves in a right direction. So in this way you can do the experiment using Arduino Uno board.